Salam friends, and welcome to my channel at KB's Cooking. Today I have great pleasure in sharing with you a lovely recipe for egg biryani. Now I have simplified it so that it will be easy for everyone, especially my family, to follow this recipe. It's prepared from start to finish using the one pot method with a final traditional end to the cooking. So let's get started, shall we? These are all the ingredients that are necessary for today's dish. Now I have taken 3 full breakfast cups of basmati rice. I've soaked it for 30 minutes and I've boiled it to just over 50 to 70% cooking so that it is not fully cooked. We are going to use it for the biryani. I have here 14 eggs which I have boiled, and I have made a few slits like this so that the spices that we mix will get infused into the eggs. I have done that with all the 14 eggs. Now we have here, this is for the garnishing later and for the layering, saffron milk here, cashew nuts roasted, rose water for fragrance, and lemon juice for later. I have here, this is cilantro or coriander leaves. I have here mint leaves. I have here homemade yogurt, which I'm going to use half a bottle, which will come to about 1 full breakfast cup. I have ghee, and I have for tempering the usual cinnamon, cardamom, aniseed, cloves, bay leaves, and cinnamon seeds. This is for the flavoring. I have here a full teaspoon of ginger paste and garlic paste. I have here 4 red onions chopped small, and I have here 5 medium-sized tomatoes and 4 green chilli just slit into 2. Now for the spices, I'd like to show you before I put it in the pot. I'm going to use a teaspoon of turmeric, 1.5 teaspoon of chilli powder, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and I have here Baba's coriander powder. I'm going to put a full teaspoon, and I have here garam masala, just a teaspoon, and this is biryani spice, which is important for biryanis. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons, and I have here cumin seed, sorry, this is cumin seed powder. I'm going to use just a teaspoon. Now these are all the spices that is going into the biryani, all under Baba's. They have all the spices that we need. I normally keep them tied up tightly in the fridge so that the fragrance is not lost. Now the first step is I'm going to heat up the pot. I'm going to add just about 2 tablespoons of oil, and into this I'm going to add just 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, about 1/2 teaspoon of chilli powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And to this we are going to fry the boiled eggs for just a minute. so that the salt and the spices gets infused in the egg. Now close the lid to build up the heat for just a minute. Let's check the pot. Eggs are done. We won't stir the eggs in case it breaks. So now I'm going to remove the eggs from the pot and keep it here for later. Now in the same pot, I'm going to add about 3/4 cup of vegetable oil. And about 4 teaspoons of ghee together with the oil. And I'm going to saute the spices. And I'm going to fry the onions. Now we need the onions to really get brown, so I will close the lid for a minute to build up the heat. Okay. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes and the chilli together, and also a little bit of the coriander leaves and mint leaves. Also going to add the ginger and garlic paste, and also the spices here, all the 5-6 spices together with the salt. This has to cook and come to a soft pulp. So I'm going to add a little bit of water, about 1/2 cup. And I'm going to close the lid to let it cook. Check our pot. Point. I'm going to add our yogurt. Yogurt is very important for biryani, so I shall add about 1/2 bottle of this. Mix it up, stir it, and I need to let it get a little thicker before we go to the next step. Let's check our pot. It's getting nice and thick now. At this point, I'm going to add the eggs that we have prepared here. I'm going to add all of it for the time being. Give it a stir, very gentle stir. I'm going to leave the pot open for it to thicken a little bit more and for the eggs to get infused with the spices. Just a minute. I left the pot open so that it can thicken a bit. Now I'm going to remove half the eggs. So I'll remove 7 because there are 14 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Now I'm going to start what we call the layering. So the bottom one has the eggs and a bit of the curry sauce. I'm going to begin layering. I'll lower the flame to medium, and I've washed my hands, and we have to use our hands to spread the rice. Bismillah. What we have. Then I'm going to add a bit of the cashew nuts and a little bit of the mint leaves and a little bit of the coriander leaves. And I'm going to just add a little bit, half a teaspoon of ghee, and I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of the saffron milk. Now I'm going to do the second layer. Before that, I shall put the remaining eggs now on top. And I'm going to do another layering of the rice. And to this, I'm going to add some more cashew nuts, mint leaves, and coriander leaves, and the saffron milk, and just half a teaspoon of ghee. Now I'm going to do the last layer of the rice. Spread it out, and now I'm going to finish off with the cashew nuts, and the coriander leaves, and I'm going to finish off the saffron milk, and a little bit of ghee. I'm going to close the lid and increase the flame just for a minute or so. Let's check the pot. I need to add a little bit of hot water to the side. And I'm going to poke a couple of holes in the pot with the rice because I'm going to add a little bit of the food coloring. Just hot water. Now I need to close the pot this way to keep the steam in, and I'm going to use some stones here that will trap the steam. I have to switch the pot to this stove. because then I can regulate the heat. And this is the tawa, or we can call it like a hot plate, which I shall use in a while. So we leave this for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's check the pot. Okay, it's coming up well. I need at this point to add the rose water for flavor and fragrance. Just 2 tablespoons, and also half a lemon juice. It's done. Now I just want to check the rice by bringing it up. It's still a little wet, so the last stage of this biryani, I'm going to cover the lid again, and I'm going to put it on this tawa for about 5 minutes so that the remaining moisture will be absorbed by the heat here. Now it's not directly on the heat, it's on the hot tawa. So we let it sit here for 5 minutes before it's ready for the table. Biryani is now ready. Please enjoy it with onion raita and sweet mango chutney. The recipe for these 2 side dishes are in my channel. You can check it out. If you like this video, then please subscribe and share it with your family and friends. Thanks for watching.